Hello, it is Joe. Welcome back. This is the golden hour, as you can see from the dappling of shadows on my face. Yeah, there's a little sunbeam right there. Can you see that? And the sun itself right there. Today I'm going to talk about meditating when you don't want to sit down. I've been sitting down a lot for my job in the last couple of hours, and I really don't want to sit down and meditate right now. I probably will later in the hour, but today I'm going to experiment with a little bit of yoga, standing, and walking meditation. Let's do walking meditation first. The key to walking meditation is that you're not going anywhere. Some people will count steps, some people will go from one place to another. The key is to feel your footfalls, to go very slowly, almost aggravatingly slowly, but don't go that slow. Don't aggravate yourself, it won't do any good. But very slowly, if you can tell my pace a bit from how the trees are moving back there. There you go. Just nicely walk, slower and slower if you can, feeling every footstep, feeling your balance. I find when I do this, I have to work quite a bit on my one foot balance, because when you walk slowly, you're not just lurching forward and catching yourself with the next foot. You really have to, whoops, there's one, walk carefully and balance on each foot. Also, I'm looking at a video camera while walking in the woods and trying not to trip over sticks. So this is an added challenge right now. Oh, look at that. That's a pretty cool effect. This is one of the many reasons I love the golden hour, is the visual effects. So, when you're doing walking meditation, you may want to choose a circular route. You may want to go back and forth on a route like I'm doing right now. And like I said, most of all, get used to the idea of shifting weight from one foot to the next. Like I said, this is quite a challenge to do blind without looking down at my feet or anything, or even to see what's underneath my feet. I've picked out a pretty clear area, so there aren't too many sticks or potholes, but still, I really have to trust my feet to know what they're doing, and I really have to have strength in the tiny muscles that keep balance in each leg. So, in a way, every time you're shifting weight from one foot to the next, you're doing yoga. You're strengthening those muscles. So what I'm doing, just turned around there as you can see from the background, is I'm just very slowly pacing a certain length that I've chosen. Though it can be very nice to also go in a circle. Excuse me. So, this is a meditation that we can do for quite a while, and I'd really like to show you a yoga pose, but let me do some more of this first, and then a bit of yoga, and then I'll chat with you about that. So, I will be right back after this brief meditation break. So, I'm back. I enjoyed my walking meditation quite a bit, and I certainly got better at it after I put the video down. One thing that really helps is to walk slowly with small, short steps. I was taking too large of paces, and that means you have to really lurch to the next one. And if you're going slow, you don't have a lot of momentum to do that. By taking small steps, it was much easier to go slowly and take a meditative posture with that. That was the biggest difference. though also I noticed good posture helped. Rolling off of the foot, like rolling off of the heel onto the pad of the foot, onto the toe, really helped. So that I'll not transfer all the weight all at once, but slowly off of the back foot. The other thing that I noticed, technique-wise, which I don't know that I can explain, and I don't know that I can give you a visual. Maybe you can see this. You see my feet? All right, so say I'm standing on my left foot. And my right foot kicks out like this. So all my weight's on my left foot, and I'm kicking out with my toe up and my heel out like that. I don't know how good of a visual that was, but that really helped. By kicking out the one heel first, and then rolling from the back foot onto the front foot, I found kick, roll, kick, roll, kick, roll. By walking that way instead of all the other ways that we do it, I found I was able to get a much smoother step and maintain a more meditative feeling throughout the exercise. Anyway, yoga. This is new to me. I'm not much of a walking meditator, but it's something I learned long ago that I'd really like to work with today and on other days, like I said, when I'm sitting down for work all day. All right, now tree pose. Again, I don't know how well you can see this, but get my hand out of my pocket, that might help. Do you see how I've got my knee up? And I'm standing on one foot. This foot is going up the inside. If you can see, up the inside of my ankle, and usually rests on my calf, though you can get it up to the knee or even the thigh. Some people are really good at this. I'm not one of them yet, but I'm getting there. And this is called tree pose. You can put your hands out to your sides, like this kind of thing, or you can do the hands in prayer. Just imagine both of my hands are up there. Of course, I'm holding the camera, so you can only see one of them. But you can do both hands right here. You can do hands out. I've actually been doing hands in pockets because it's a little chilly today, but whatever works for you. So anyway, I bring this up lightly. When I start to wobble, I don't bring it up anymore until I can get established. I start with my toe on the ground and my heel up the side of my other leg. I don't think you can see that, but I'm slowly lifting it up, sliding the bottom of my right foot against the inside of my left leg and getting it as high as I can, comfortably without too much wobbling. You can see I'm wobbling some. Then again, the video makes this a little bit trickier. Okay, going to switch sides. Remember to always switch sides when you're doing yoga. You always want both sides of your body to get equal yoga stretches, like in this case, balancing, all of it. You want both sides of your body to be even. Now, when I'm in tree pose, you can see I've got my left knee up one. This one is a little easier. I think my right leg is stronger, so my left leg can go up more. And I'm wobbling a bit. I keep making little adjustments with my right leg as it's kind of rooted into the ground there. But over time, this gets easier. There we go. I'm more comfortable. I can feel myself slowing down my breath, feeling more comfortable. Ooh, almost lost it there. And starting to get comfortable. Of course, when you do, you may notice things you need to adjust, and that's fine. I like to adjust my shoulders back and my posture. I like to lift up my whole torso and have as good posture as possible. Of course, that makes it more challenging and you're more likely to, fall over like I just did. But that's fine too. That's fun and part of the process. I think it's important to laugh at yourself in a positive way, like, oh, look, I just fell over, haha, and then go right back to it. So yeah, the reason I'm interested in that pose tree pose, and you can look it up. There's lots of good information about tree pose online. But the reason I'm interested in tree pose is what it does for my legs. I know that walking meditation, kicking and rolling, like I was explaining before, pouring weight from one foot into the next, into the next, into the next, just kind of meditating, not sitting down, but in like this continuously moving, slow, slow motion assembly line or a conveyor belt almost. Just slowly, slowly moving, always moving along your way. And that, of course, requires a lot of one-legged strength. Not just lurching back and forth from one to the other as we would if we were walking with large strides or running, but really balancing on one leg at a time as we walk slowly. That has a whole lot to do with what we learned from tree pose. So try them both. I think that these two exercises, the meditation and the yoga exercise, go really well hand in hand, because you can really enjoy giving your legs a challenge, giving your body something to deal with, throwing yourself off center, by putting one leg up, and then you've got to deal with it. I have one other exercise for cyclists. As you probably know, I ride my bike a lot, and sometimes my hands and wrists get tired from just leaning on them, leaning forward for many hours on the bike. And so I invented a fun exercise, which is super, super easy. Basically go one-handed. I put one hand on, the appropriate handlebar of the bike, but the other one reaches over to meet it. I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm going to try. Okay, so I'm holding the camera with my right arm, right? You can see it going up to the camera here. That's my right arm. And I'm going to take my left arm and place it just behind the elbow here, just where my bicep muscle is. Now imagine, instead of holding the camera, I'm actually using my right arm to ride my bike. I'm riding my bike one-armed, and as I pedal, I'm going a little bit side to side, so my weight is shifting. And I'm having to balance just with the right hand down here on the handlebar. And then, of course, switch sides, ride the bike left-handed, and put the right hand on the left bicep. The idea of that is that you're kind of forming a stable triangle just by connecting the one arm to the other arm. So it's not like riding one-armed, with the other one behind your back or something. It's a little more stable and you can keep it going longer. I find this is really good for core strength. I find it's really good for my legs. I have to compensate more with my legs when I don't have my arms holding my body up as well. When I don't have as much balance through both of my arms. So, give that one a try if you're ever riding a bike and see if that relates. It's not that you're going one-legged as in tree pose, but you're going one-armed. But remember, on a bicycle, because you're leaning forward and supporting yourself from the handlebars, your arms kind of function like legs, I guess. They certainly support your body more than they normally would in other circumstances. So, those are my tips for today, my practical tips. I'm going to do some more meditation, maybe even sit down a bit, and I may return in a little bit to give you some kind of inner meditation tips. But those are your practical, try these exercises at home kind of tips for now. And this is the Golden Hour with Joe Neely. Me. Hi there. I had hoped to offer you some deep internal wisdom about meditating, beyond just the techniques. What I'm feeling right now is really a rush of emotion. I've had a bit of an emotional day. Not entirely sure why. I'll let you know when I have some better ideas about it. But I do know that I enjoy returning to the Golden Hour. I did not do it yesterday for some very good reasons. Again, I'll tell you about that at some point. but I really enjoyed coming home. Hi, it's me. I'm back. I have a little more to say to you, and I want you to know that the golden hour, is a very special time for me where I can put aside a little time not to think about work or travel or my social life and just focus on what I'm feeling and not to judge it as good or bad if I'm feeling good or bad, but just to feel it, sometimes releasing thought habits that trigger up emotions over and over again, sometimes staying in emotions to feel them completely so I can let them go, so I can express them through tears or shouting or jumping up and down or singing a silly song. So remember that this practice for you of taking a little time out of every day, whether it's a specific time like me, whether it's a time in between certain activities in your day, however you choose to do it, but by really dedicating a time, you'll find safety and refuge, and all through your day there's a little part of you that'll know, yep, that time's going to come and I'm going to do that thing, and I will feel this emotion. If I can't feel my emotions freely as I work, if I still stifle myself a bit as I work, I know I will eventually feel them in the golden hour and be able to deal with them, to feel them completely and let them go. So, for all of you, take refuge in yourself, take refuge in my golden hour if it suits you, or whatever practice you choose. Remember, as always, don't take my word for it. Go out and try it and see what works for you. Leave comments on this video so the rest of us can benefit from your experience, and we can all grow with the speed of many lifetimes, because we're all growing together and sharing. So that's it. I'm Joe Neely. This is the Golden Hour, and I'll speak with you tomorrow. Have a great night.